Praise the TV screen, it's Jill Valentine back on it. I honestly feel like this game gets a bad rap and I'm here to literally change your mind. Okay? This is Resident Evil Revelations. Don't go away. So if you've been following my channel, or if you're a newcomer, I've been playing through the Resident Evil series en route to Resident Evil 8. I'm mega late, yes, but I want to play it on PS5, and those just do not exist. I've only got a couple left: Resident Evil 6, Revelations 2, and 2 and 3 Remake. I've played Revelations 1 before, like, I think 3 or 4 times. This might have been my 5th time playing through the game. That's a sure damn sign that I like this game. Fun fact, this game, if you don't know, a lot of people do, but it was originally a 3DS game. I find that really crazy, but also sort of impressive that they even got this on a 3DS. But I did not play it on a 3DS, and I could probably safely say that 80% of people who've played this game have not played on a 3DS. So let's start with the story. I want to say it's probably the second most solid story next to Resident Evil 5. Jill Valentine takes the screen as the main character. Huge W. Her and her partner, Parker, comes into the Queen Zenobia in the middle of the ocean looking for Chris Redfield. Big name drop there. They eventually find him, but they're kidnapped because it was all a plan, because in reality, Chris Redfield is off with some other chick named Jessica doing his own thing. Eventually, Chris has to try and rescue Jill. He ends up on the wrong ship. Then Jill and Parker rescue themselves, and they run into Raymond, and they have backstory to Terra Grigia. I will say it is a bit stereotypical. You could replace the city of Terra Grigia with any other name because it sounds similar to like 20 other different stories I've seen. Super futuristic city comes in, blah blah blah, city gets overrun, they nuke the city, and it's over. That's the end of it.
This sunny and idyllic Mediterranean coast was the site of one of the world's greatest structures. It took a full 11 years to finish constructing the world's first Aquapolis, the floating city of Terra Grigia. The worst tragedies the world has ever seen.
I mentioned almost all the characters already. Jill shines. Chris is playable in this game. Same voice actor from Resident Evil 5. Huge solid there. Parker and Jessica are both likable for the main 2 characters in this game. Hell, I even liked Raymond. Quint and Keith, on the other hand, are only in there for comedic relief. Now, here's the biggest problem with comedic relief characters and why I've never liked them. The problem is that people's humor are not the same. So there's a good chance that the comedic relief characters will not hit. And if they don't hit, it just seems cringy and awkward, waste of time, waste of screen time. Why would they even put that in there? Then you realize you have to actually play as these characters. You actually have to play as these characters twice. How did these guys even get a job here? At this point, why wouldn't you just do a Leon Kennedy cameo? Honestly, I would just take Ashley as a cameo. Okay, but what if Lewis came back? I think it'd probably be way easier to show you how exactly hilarious these guys are.
In a jaws.
Hilarious.
Quint and Keith.
What?
You two, get ready to move.
I hate snow. Snow hates you. Snow hates you. Snow hates you. So, you followed Jessica home. You know where she lives now?
Almost. I had her until the very end, but I lost her near the... Hey! You think I'm a stalker, don't you?
As far as actual gameplay goes, bar none, the best ever in Resident Evil. Here's my take. I've played every Resident Evil at this point. I liked first person, liked it. I love tank controls, okay? Sure, people can complain that it's hard to move and you can't even see what you're aiming, but I love it. Over the shoulder has worked well. I have documented very well my experience with Resident Evil 4. Hell, I'm in the speedrunning community at this point. But here's the thing. The responsiveness of first person and over the shoulder combined with the limited tank controls of the early Resident Evils are mixed together for Revelations 1. You can't turn that easily in this game. You can quick turn, but turning left or right is not as easy as it is in RE4 or 5 or 6.
Oh, I'm so kicking this guy's ass. Parker, you stole my kill, bro.
Enemies aren't that responsive to hits, such as early zombies. You could shoot a Ganados in Resident Evil 4 and he'll react to it. You could shoot off 5 handgun bullets in Revelations 1 and he'll still come at you. And the thing is that there is a dodge mechanic in this game, but it would be best, represented as the Resident Evil 3 mechanic. It's RNG. I feel like I got it more down pat than the Resident Evil 3 one, but still I never got it to a higher than 70% completion rate.
Hey, man.
The gunplay itself works well. Pistols, shotguns, rifles, magnums, RPGs. You've seen it before. I like them. I just wish there was more character to them. They're very, very, very basic guns. There was really no flavor, no spice in the guns. So gameplay mix is good. You spend a good amount of time in action scenes. You spend a good amount of time doing puzzle and exploration scenes. There's a very nice and pretty easy upgrade system for your weapons. It's pretty interchangeable, it's customizable, you can pick up custom parts, the game calls it. Things like better damage, faster shooting, extended mags, with some interesting unique ones thrown in there. I like that it's customizable. You can put the damage onto a shotgun, but if you run out of shotgun ammo, you can go to your case and put it on your pistol. It's cool. I like it. It's better than none. There's a melee system in here, which is very, very watered down compared to RE5 or RE6. Each character that you play as in main campaign and in raid mode has one hit animation because there's only one stun animation for enemies. I wish they would have added more, but again, seeing as this was supposed to be a 3DS game, and if they could technically have done none. Menu and health system has to be my biggest gripe with this game. Absolutely bare bones, bottom, no character, no spice, no nothing. The health system is just click triangle to instantaneously heal. There's not even animation, you just instantly heal. It's only green herbs, you don't get yellow, you don't get red. The only health meter you have is the screen darkens with blood stains, which is cool, I like that, but the problem is when you're damaged only say 10-15%, your screen is still a little bit darkened with blood, and it's sort of annoying because you either have to waste a herb for 10% HP or live with a darker screen. Under the presentation side of things, I do have a good amount to talk about here. The atmosphere on the Queen Zenobia is a throwback. The atmosphere that you get from playing older Resident Evils is something that is quite lost today. Walking around the Arklay Mansion. Games nowadays are fast. It's fast action, with people scrolling on TikTok every 5 seconds. The attention span has to be there. Every single 5 seconds has to be something happening. But the old Resident Evils, it's just you in a hallway, nothing else. Just the sounds of the wind outside, maybe a little bit of atmospheric music, and it was damn good. And something that no other modern Resident Evil game has done is have that feeling. Unless you're talking about Revelations 1. I'm not even kidding you. The Queen Zenobia is one of my bar none favorite locations in Resident Evil history. I absolutely love in the beginning of the game waking up on the Queen Zenobia, walking out the door and realizing I don't know where I am. And I guess I'll just explore this ship, and the atmosphere it brings is great. The theme of the game is pretty damn cool, honestly. It's pretty much a water theme, which makes sense. I mean, the beginning of the game, you're on a ship on the water, then you're on the beach beside the water, or you're playing as Chris in the mountains with snow, which is basically frozen water. But the thing that I like about this is that the game leans into it even more so with the sounds of the game and the soundtracks more specifically. Listen to two of these themes. The main two themes of the game, the save theme and the main menu theme, they have this bit of like H2O fluctuation to them that maybe I'm just hearing out of my ass or some shit, but I swear, if I had to identify an element to these soundtracks, it would be water, which makes sense because that's the theme of the game. Something I have to mention that's hilarious. So if you're playing Revelations 1 and you're a guy, hell, it doesn't even matter. You would have noticed this. This is by far, whoever worked on this game, who designed this game, was the horniest mofo I've ever seen in my life. Don't believe me? I have 3 solid pieces of evidence here. Evidence number 1. Jill Valentine. She's been 10 out of 10 pretty much every Resident Evil game she's been in. Except now, she's wearing a super duper tight skin suit, okay? Makes sense though, you're in the water. But there was one part where I was walking down a hallway and I'm thinking to myself, what is that noise? Oh, you actually hear Jill's suit. Evidence number 2. Rachel. This one is absolutely doesn't make sense. And finally, the most obvious piece of evidence I could literally see with my eyes the entire game. Jessica is flirtatious with Chris quite a bit, to the point where she wears her scuba suit. Okay, except somehow half of the bottom is missing. You're telling me that as a agent of like the STARS like BSAA member team, you're Chris's partner, you walk up, and this is 100% not for looks, this is 100% straight up only for going into the water, nothing else. Jessica walks out with, like this.
Looking bored from here. Jessica, we have a promise to keep. Let's go.
Great. A cruise, just the 2 of us. Only the whole thing is sinking.
Moving on though, I do have to mention the cutscenes in this game I actually really like. They're sort of built like a TV show. There's a lot of previously on Resident Evil Revelations. I think that adds character to the game.
Sorry, but I can't authorize that.
Mrs. Solis. And the last sort of thing I have to mention, which is probably what this game is most infamous for, the thing that people like the most is there's a boss fight. Arguably by far the best boss fight in the game is, and when you're Jill and you're going down to the promenade deck, I believe it is called, and you hear the monster from rooms away just yelling, "Mayday, Mayday, the Queen Zenobia." Mayday. And the closer you get, the louder it becomes, and you get to the point where it's on the other side of this specific door. And you kind of have to open it. That creates a whole lot of tension and atmosphere that I really love.
Oh no, I think this creature might be the comms officer.
So for overall impact, my overall thoughts on this game is that this is by far the most underrated Resident Evil of all. The item scanner I've yet to mention. It is one of my favorite gadgets in gaming, honestly. You use the item scanner to scan enemies dead or alive. You do get more of a bounty for scanning them alive, but you get a certain percentage, say 22% for scanning a live enemy. Once that hits 100, you get a free green herb. So there's a cool incentive to do that. Also, while the scanner is up, there's little things you can scan around specific rooms randomly that'll reveal items. Handgun ammo, machine gun ammo, hand grenades, whatever you have it. It's not mandatory at any case, but it rewards the people who want to do more exploring, which is cool. Something I forgot to mention quickly in gameplay, under the weapons sort of subcategory I was talking about, the grenades in this game are not simple, although my favorite grenade system of all time, because it's that simple, is Resident Evil 4's with fire, flash, and hand grenades with green, red, and blue. Something so simple about that just worked so perfectly. In Revelations though, you actually have 4. You have shock grenades, which work primarily underwater, decoy grenades, which sound exactly as they do, hand grenades, and my favorite pulse grenades. They're just my favorite because you get a free melee attack off of them. But I gotta be honest, I absolutely love this game. Truly love this game. Everything from game and weapon design, game mixing, voice acting, the cutscenes, weapons and weapon upgrades, the stories, the plot twists, like the many plot twists in this game is so well done, so well rounded. The sound effects on cutscenes, I mean, just to name one, Parker's death scene, which technically isn't a death scene, even though he fell into the equivalent of a absolute raging burning fire, molten lava shit. For some reason, after he falls, Jill gets up and realizes my partner just dropped out of my hands, and the ship's alarm is going off in the background. For some reason, that ship alarm is so memorable to me because Jill realizes that she has to go, but you know, how are you supposed to just get up and go after that? It's just such a memorable cutscene to me.
Jill, we have to go.
Yeah, Chris. I know.
If there was one thing I had to dock this game for is boss fights, other than the Mayday fight, the boss fights are borderline bad. There's one who's a bullet sponge and just pretty much charges you like a rhino. The ending boss fight guy does have some cool tricks up his sleeve, but he's just, you know, your average bullet sponge boss fight with a red heart on the outside of his body. Hats off to that virus creation. Once again, you've made the heart on the outside of the body.
Idiots.
There's also a side mode called Raid Mode. I actually never played it before. I have played Resident Evil Revelations 2 Raid Mode. In fact, I like Raid Mode better than the main campaign for Revelations 2. In fact, Raid Mode is one of my favorite side game modes of all time. I think that I would buy full price Revelations 2 if it didn't come with campaign but only Raid Mode. And I will say, Raid Mode is not as good as it is in number 2, but I actually spent 6 hours on Raid Mode here in Revelations 1, which was longer than the campaign took me. So, with everything being said, good and bad, I do have to say this game got a damn good score. We're talking a 10 out of 10. So that's it. Resident Evil Revelations is down. Honestly, the second time I've reviewed this game. We've only got a few more games left, guys. Resident Evil 6, which I'm doing co-op, taking a little bit longer. 2 Remake, 3 Remake, Revelations 2, and Resident Evil 8. 5 games left, and then I could do all the lists and countdowns that I want to talk about. But for now, I'm your host, Cyberplanet Entertainment, and I'll be just review. Okay. What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.